The assignment is this. We have no pattern, but let's see how well we do with it. Now, someone asked how I made this pattern for the skirt, and this is all very raw footage, but let me see if I can get a video out of it. So I did not realize my camera was in zoom mode, but right here I am measuring my fabric after I folded it because I cut most things on symmetry. I will not be able to cut the front on symmetry because the front is not symmetrical, but because the back is symmetrical, I cut the back first. Right now I'm just laying out my fabric to ensure that it is wide enough to go around my hips. That is the first thing I do before I fold my fabric on its line of symmetry. And here I am still making sure the fabric is nice and straight and neat, because you must get symmetry and straight grains or else your clothes are going to be looking lopsided and lean. So I am still measuring because this is a center back, and there's going to be, because this is the back, right there where my left hand is a center back, and there's going to be a zipper. I have to mark the zipper allowance. So the first thing I did was I marked 1 inch for the zipper allowance. Then I know that my waist is X amount, and so I take out a half of the back. I did not make a mistake saying that. I take out a half of the back measurement, and then I take a half of that, and that is the first half of my dart. This would be better on paper. So let's say for argument's sake my waist is 28. The back of my waist would be 14, and a half of that, because I'm cutting the back on symmetry, is 7. So the half of that 7 will be 3.5. I measure the first 3.5. I measure 1 inch for the dart, and then I measure the second 3.5, and then 1 inch for the seam allowance, and that's the waist. And what I'm drawing right now is the lines for my hips, but it's not showing on camera. I measure down from the waist 1/2 inch for my seam allowance, and then I measure the rest of the hip, the distance from my waist to my hip, and I mark that. I think that's what I'm remeasuring here. I always ensure that I measure straight across more than one places so that I can draw the line straight across. And I marked it 3 times, and then I draw the line straight across for where my hip line is supposed to be. I always measure and then measure again, because my mother said measure twice, cut once. So by now I would have already drawn the hip line on the right side, which is not showing on camera. And when I am done, I will draw from the waist down to the length of the skirt. I forgot what length I used for this, and now I can tell that I am cutting the right side. There is me with the rollers in my hair because I don't like heat styling my hair, but I like fullness. I just cut the side. I did it off camera because I was in zoom mode, and here I am opening the center back where the zipper is gonna go. And I'm trying to cut while on camera, so it's a very awkward angle for me. And it was around this time when I know I'm pinning it, because when I'm done I don't want this to move, because I need to use this to cut a template or a pattern for the size of the front, so I don't have to remeasure it for the size that I want at the front. And then there it is. That's when I realized I was off camera, and now I am on camera. So now you could have seen the whole skirt being measured by me. Right now I am marking that center of that 1 inch that I left for the dart. And 1 inch for my zipper. And usually I don't do this, but I'm on camera and I'm showing off, so I put a little notch for where the zipper would be. It's 1 inch from the edge, and I know. But okay, I'm still out here trying to recorded while I was doing this process, and it's mostly just me talking through my thought process. But to create my own pattern. I use the back to create a template for the front, as if I were cutting a regular pencil skirt, and then I eyeballed it because of, you know, this is how I've always cut. I don't know any other way to cut, so I figured out how much I will need for the small part on the left side of the skirt to overlap onto the right side, and I figured out how much of the right side to overlap on the left, and then what would leave a decent opening in the front for modesty, and that's what I proceeded to cut. And so I'll just let the rest of it play with me just talking through the seam allowance, because it will have to have a facing right here. And I'm not cutting straight, I'm just cutting It's paper. Okay, so now when I fold it back, I should have this. Oh, it should be like this. So the front will look like that. And then where do I go with this part? Okay, that's a little too much. I'm going to take off some of it. And then because this is my waist, I'm going to cut up here and hope this is where it's supposed to go. No! So, okay, that's too much. Still too much because I need it to fold back at the waist. Okay, so that's way too much. This is where my waist is. That's where my waist is. I need this to go up. So the waist is here. This is going up. So it's going to be slanted a little bit. That's my waist. This is slanted a little bit. Okay, so this is not the look I'm trying to achieve. The look I want to achieve is, I'm going to go up a little more so that I have a full waistline. Or not. It's actually supposed to be slanted. So did I block my camera? So let's go from here to say here. And I don't need that much. I only want a little piece of this to come here. Isn't that what it's like? So now I'm going to cut this off. I swear. I'm putting so much energy into this, and I know they did not take so much time to make this, but I'm making it from my perspective, and this is what I see. So this would be the front, and I already cut the other part, even though I don't know where it is. And this would be the other part of the front, and then they would overlap like this. Oh, this is too far down. Okay, this is too long. Okay, why is this so much bigger than this? This is the, yes, the exact side. So why is that slanting upwards? Who did that? Who made that slant upwards? Why aren't these the same length? It's supposed to be... Oh, okay. Oh, okay.